Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so honored, so definitely honored to have this beautiful woman with me today. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of this book, Anesa Kajtazoic, a remarkable woman whose journey from war-torn Bosnia to the Iowa State House is nothing short of incredible. Anessa and her family survived 3 years of the Bosnian War and refugee camps in Croatia. And in 1997, they received refugee asylum and settled in Waterloo, Iowa. After graduating from the University of Northern Iowa, Anessa became a passionate community advocate through volunteerism. And at just 24 years of age, Anessa made history as the youngest woman elected to the Iowa House and the first Bosnian American to hold public office in the U.S. Anessa is now an author too. Her new children's book, Anesa no Skola Today, a child's true story of escaping war in Bosnia, shares her childhood experience of escaping war and finding hope. Today, we'll have the honor of getting to know Anessa. Plus, join Anessa today from 4 to 6 at the historic Kraut Museum District in Waterloo at the Museum of Science and History for World Refugee Day, a free family celebration honoring courage, resilience, and the power of community. A special proclamation from the Waterloo City Council will be read, and Anessa will hold a reading and a book signing. This is a conversation and an event that you don't want to miss. Let's honor refugee courage and recommit to building a more compassionate, inclusive world together. Welcome, Anessa.
Thank you for having me, Vicki.
Oh, it's my pleasure, sweetheart. So tell me, when did you first realize that you wanted to be a children's author?
Well, actually, I didn't really, it happened by accident.
Okay.
So it happened about 5 years ago when a third grade teacher approached me to share with her class about the refugee immigrant experience.
Yes. Wow. And so did you embrace that? Like, yes, I'm going to talk about this, or were you a little hesitant?
I was very hesitant and then I declined.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I felt so bad about it. I felt so guilty
of course.
because I know education is a way we can help shape, and grow,
Right.
our experiences, our minds,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
So I felt very guilty, and then I started writing for the first time.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. I love that. So tell me, what do you see as your greatest accomplishment and what changes did you note as a result of that achievement?
I would say probably the reason I'm here talking to you today, Vicki,
Yes. Yes.
this journey has taken me 5 years.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not someone that's patient by nature
Okay.
or have ever been patient. I like to
Yes.
get things done right away, but it was such an experience.
Mhm.
It was very emotional to write down and go through
Course
some
it
of those
was.
memories.
Yes.
But also it was fulfilling to go through that process, and I'm glad that I did. Now,
Yes.
I wanted everything in this book to be just how it happened.
Yes.
And
Right.
of course, I had to make it shorter, and there's a lot that I
Yes.
had to cut out
Of
because it's an
course.
illustrated book.
Yes.
But I wanted to show to the children and everybody that refugee kids are just like normal kids.
Yes. Right. And how old were you when this all transpired?
When it all started happening, I was 7.
Oh, you poor dear.
Um,
Oh, yeah, so young. So, who would you say has been your biggest influence in life?
I feel I've had many influencers in my life,
Mhm.
from my parents, inspiring me to work hard and, better my life.
Yes.
My sister is a big influence. Also, Mary Martin Lane through this process has been
Yes.
so wonderful. And just honestly, just like everyday people and everyday stories, I get
Mhm.
so inspired by that and
Yes.
realize how fortunate I am. And I would, I think now I feel my mission is to maybe do more writing just so I
Mhm.
can tell more stories.
Yes, there you go.
So we'll see.
I love that. So that leads me to the new career related endeavors question.
Mhm. Well, I'm still in the nonprofit sector since I
Mhm.
left the Iowa legislature. I've been
Okay.
the past 10 years.
Okay.
And I do love that because I feel I want to give back. So
Mhm.
it's from, I'm very mission driven. And now I do have flexible work. I work
Nice.
remotely. And
Wonderful.
yeah, so I have this flexibility and I have a lot of, I guess, writing book ideas. So we'll see,
Ooh.
where that's going to go, whether I'll just keep it for myself
Yes.
or publish. I'm not sure yet,
Sure.
but I
Sure.
just, I guess I'm on this in this phase where I just never ever pictured myself to be
Wow.
in.
As an author. That's so beautiful. And you know my son, Dr. Jared Smith,
Uh-huh.
superintendent of Waterloo Schools, and you were on his podcast back in the day. I maybe it was 4 years ago, 5 years
It
ago.
probably was 3 or 4 years ago. So
Yes.
it was probably one of the first ones I talked about it.
Ooh.
And so, this process takes
Yes,
so
yes,
long.
yes. And I remember being just enraptured by your every word. And I said to myself, someday I want to meet this woman. And look what
Oh, you're too
happened.
kind,
Oh,
Vicki.
honey,
You're too
it's just
kind.
a dream come true for me.
Oh, you're
So
too sweet.
thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so let's talk about this event that's taking place today at the Grout Museum
Mhm.
District. So, what would you like to tell us about today's special event in honor of World Refugee Day at the Grout Museum in Waterloo?
I hope it will be an uplifting
Yes.
event for everybody. First of all, there's about 43 million refugees worldwide.
Oh my
And out of
gosh.
those, about 40% are children. And so we'll have
Oh,
some of the local refugee kids, I should say, they're now in
yes,
high school, will
yes.
share because now I'm considered like an older
Of
refugee.
course.
And so we'll have more recent ones because
Yes,
we want this to be also educational and for
right,
everybody to really learn about each other.
right.
Refugees are normal people. They're
Yes,
maybe your next door neighbors, maybe
right,
your coworkers tomorrow,
right,
and just humans. We're all humans at the end
right.
of the day. So I hope it will be a very positive, uplifting event for the community.
Absolutely. And that is 4 till 6 at the Grout Museum District, the Museum of History and Science. Very, very cool. So let's talk about your earliest childhood memories.
When I was a kid, I tell people there's like the before the war and
Mhm.
after the
Of
war. And so it would have been
course.
before the war. I was like 4 or 5.
Oh,
It was
yes.
like family vacations during the summertime in Croatia.
Ooh.
And just the smell of that beach. And,
Oh,
I can still, like, you know what I mean? That
yes.
breeze. I feel like when
Yes.
I go somewhere, I can still
Oh,
have this moment. I can't explain
yes,
it.
of course. And you have how many siblings?
I have just one sibling
Okay.
and 2 little nephews.
Aw, cute. I love it. So is your sibling older or younger?
She's younger.
Oh,
And I asked my nephews because they've been part of this writing journey. I,
mhm.
would show them the
Yes.
first illustration and all of that. I
Ooh.
asked them, I thought, wouldn't it be nice if they came and spoke a little bit?
Oh,
They're 9 and
yes.
12.
Oh, how cute.
Well, it didn't work
Oh,
out
it
so
didn't
well,
work.
Vicki. The first one
Oh,
was, and we knew that was a tough one because he is more reserved. And he
sure,
goes,
of
no, no way
course.
I'm doing that. And then the
No.
little one that we know is never shy.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't believe you want us to do something so embarrassing.
Oh,
So it's
no.
okay. At least they'll be in the audience and,
Yeah, they'll be in the audience.
they will learn a lot maybe
Right.
another time.
Yeah,
With
there
you.
you go. Another time. And you'll never know unless you ask, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. And so let's talk about the book a little. I just am so enraptured by this gorgeous book. So who does the illustrations here?
I had actually artists I found online.
Oh, okay.
That was in Russia, I believe. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So it was someone overseas. I went through several different artists we explored doing it. It was so tough to find the right person because
Right.
everyone has their own style and they're all
Yes.
talented
Yes.
and wonderful.
Yes.
But finding someone that can bring my illustrations to life
Yes.
was
Right.
a big challenge.
Oh my
And
gosh. Yes.
so I finally found, the right person that could do it.
Yes.
And every single detail is like even the way that the house looked, everything is based
Really?
on.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love that so much. And oh, look at this one. This one is so cute.
And
Yes.
there's a photo that actually mimics a real life photo.
Really?
Yes.
So that's in the back, towards the
I
back?
don't know if that photo is. I couldn't put all of them in there, but I
of
have
course.
it somewhere where she has the exact same robe, and there's a photo of.
And look at the beautiful photos here.
Yeah,
Oh.
these are the real life, and you can see the dolls, like the way it looks, like the wall,
Yes.
the blanket.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the only photo I have of my dog, Bobby.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh, so sad. The only one. But you'll be together in heaven. I believe that wholeheartedly. Yes.
Yeah.
Puppy dogs go to heaven.
They do. They're angels.
Yes, they're angels. And kitty cats are too.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So tell me, do you have a bucket list, Anesa? And if so, what is on that list?
Oh boy, I feel like I do. I think maybe it changes at times, but I've always had a bucket list.
Nice.
The past couple of years, because I've had remote work, I've been able to take a few months off, like work remotely in a few different parts of the world. So I went to Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I worked from there for a few months, and that was such a big deal for me. And then I spent a few weeks like in Ireland and a few other places.
Oh, how beautiful.
I think I realized I love cultural experiences.
Yes, cultural
different
experiences.
Food, trying different foods.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, and it's so fun, and I just enjoy that.
How exciting is that? So do you have any summer plans? And if so, what are they?
Right now, I'm not sure. I feel I'm going to plan this summer. I'll be busy with the book. I might do like a book tour later on in the fall. Yay. So there's a lot of planning. I'll be busy with that. So I just try to take it one day at a time, but nothing much planned. So we'll see if something happens.
There you go. So tell me, do you have a personal mission statement? And if so, what is that statement?
I guess I always love that quote, you never know what you can do until you try. Yes. I feel like that's summarized my life in so many aspects. I've always tried to, do different things, throw myself out there and volunteer or, do something. And then there was a teacher one time in school that said, you get to choose, do you want to be a seat warmer or not? And so sometimes, we go through life in motions. Yes. And it's so easy to just become a seat warmer or a couch warmer or whatever.
Exactly.
So trying to, I think it's important for people to try to motivate themselves and get up and
agree wholeheartedly. Profoundly stated. Absolutely. So tell me, what would you like to tell us the most about this cool event that is coming up this afternoon at the Grout Museum District?
I hope people will be inspired and encouraged when they see community come together. We'll have a few of the young high school kids that never talked about their refugee experience. They came here more recently. Yes. And so I think people will be moved by it, hopefully by the program. We'll also hear from a couple of educators. And it's really to educate each other. We have so much in common. Right. People that go through some of these experiences, they don't choose to do that. Nobody chooses to be a refugee. No one. No. And so that's what we want to drive is, we didn't choose that, but look, it's possible to overcome these challenges. Right. These people were, welcomed into our community with open arms, and they've been able to give back and be a good citizen. So I hope people can be inspired and want to, be positive and encourage each other.
Oh, exactly. Now, Anesa, if you could be remembered for just one thing and one thing only, what would it be?
That she tried her best and she was a good person.
Yes, there you go. She tried her best and she was a good person. Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, so this is kind of a fun little question. Do you have any pet peeves? And if so, what are they?
Gosh, let me see. I'm trying to think.
While you're thinking, I'll say mine. So my pet peeve, I'm driving down the road. especially after work. And here comes a car. Their hands are not at 10 and 2s on the wheel. They're looking down at their cell phone.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm like, I want to get home to my kitty cats. I have 3 of them waiting for me. Could you please put the phone down and look at what you're doing? That's
Mhm.
my number one pet peeve.
I couldn't agree more with you. I
Mhm.
think distractions,
Yes.
people not listening and not
Mhm.
being engaged listeners when
Right.
you're talking to them is
Right.
kind of.
Yes. That is a real pet peeve of mine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And or they bring the cell phone to dinner and you're talking and they're looking at the phone while you're talking
Yes.
to them. Oh,
Too many distractions,
yes.
and especially when you're trying to talk or form a
Mm-hmm.
conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very difficult sometimes.
Right, right. And I just wish we could go back to a time before cell phones. I really do. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
understand they're important and all of that, but the wisdom that just comes when you're sitting there thinking and
Mm-hmm.
not being distracted is a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing that I miss. So tell me, who do you count among your biggest influences in life?
Perhaps my parents, they came here with
Mm,
nothing and they had to
right.
work so hard, and
Yes.
um, so I really admire them for trying their best
There you
and for their
go.
work ethic.
Yes. What would we do without our parents?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Our very lives depend on them. So, tell me, what do you think about your earliest childhood memory? And how about you shared about going on the vacations? How about the most traumatic earliest childhood memory?
That's yeah. So there are quite a few of
Hmm.
those,
Hmm.
and that's why I guess writing this book was so
Yes,
emotionally challenging
right.
at times. But
Hmm.
I think
Of
there's so many, and still
course.
to this day, I get emotional. I can cry
Oh,
over
of course you can.
saying goodbye to my dog.
Oh,
You
yes, of
know, the
course.
moment I thought I lost my mom.
Oh my
So
gosh.
there's yeah, those are probably some of the most difficult.
Oh my gosh. There's a book that I would love you to read, Dr. Clementine Masenji. It's called Spared, and it was during the Tutsi genocide, and her whole entire family was killed, but she was spared.
Mm,
And she was on the show too. And I know the two of you would have a beautiful relationship and
mm,
shared experiences. So
mm,
if you can get Dr. Clementine Masenji's book, Spared, I think you
mm.
would really love that.
Oh, thank you. I think
Yes.
I should. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, how about can you tell us where on the web or social media our viewers can find you?
I have social media like Facebook. I'm more
Hmm.
active, and Instagram, and then I
Hmm.
do have a website. So it's just my first name and my last name, and I understand it's kind of
Okay.
long, but
Yeah.
it's just AnesaKajtazoic.com. It's spelled
Yes.
ANESAKajtazovic.
There you go. Dot
Um,
com.
yes, dot
Okay.
com.
All one word, no dots in between.
Yes.
Okay. All one word.
Hmm.
Sweet. I love that. Okay. So I just want to make sure that people are aware of this beautiful book and how to get it. So if somebody's watching right now and they're like, okay, so where do I get this gorgeous book?
Hmm.
So how do they find it?
It's available on Amazon. So, or if you go on my website, there's a link. It will take you there. So, you can
Hmm.
definitely get the book today on Amazon.
Ah, that is so beautiful. Do you
Thank you.
have a favorite part of your book?
Favorite part? Gosh, let me see.
Yes.
Like I said, I really
Mm.
enjoyed these illustrations. Doing it,
Yes.
that was the fun part, was
Hmm.
bringing that aspect to life.
Right.
Maybe this part
Okay,
where
let's talk about it. Share the
yes,
page. Okay, there we go. This
where
part
she's
here.
told to start packing, to
Oh,
be ready to just pack a backpack,
oh,
to be ready in case they have to run, in case war comes to their town.
of course. Can
Because
you read a little quote? Would you do
yes,
that for us?
in
Thank
the
you.
evening, I helped Mama pack one bag of clothes with Layla's milk bottles. Quietly, she filled her purse with documents and family photos. Get your backpack ready, Anesa. Only put in everyday clothes and no toys. When Mama wasn't looking, I snuck in 3 toys with my skirts and dress.
Oh.
And so I do have a couple of these nice, cute, clothes today because of this.
Yeah.
And they'll be at the Grout Museum. I'll have the skirt, which is the main cover here.
Beautiful.
I have that skirt and a couple of these little toys, just 3 or 4.
I love it. And that rebellion. I love that rebellion against mama. Only pack, play clothes and no toys. And yet?
Yes.
Yep. Mic drop. I love that so much. All right, sweetheart. So another page that you really love and maybe you could read. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Let me see. I think this page here maybe this was also a difficult moment talking about
of course.
At this point my dad and all the men, the male cousins had gone to war in the army.
Yes, of course.
And so talking about when his dad coming home.
Yes.
So I used the several Bosnian words in the book because I wanted the reader to learn something as well.
Right.
And also to make it more authentic too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So this part here, when is Tata? So Tata is dad, father.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
So when is Tata coming home? I asked Mama one afternoon. Tata's being brave for all of us. We won't see him for a while because he's protecting us. He'll be all right.
Oh.
I miss Tata. He bought me Barbie dolls, teddy bears, and my sweet Bobby. I was proud of Tata. I felt safe because he was our hero.
Yes.
Just as we sat down to eat lunch, a loud bang rattled our windows. What was that? I yelled. Layla screamed. Woof, 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 Bobby barked as he ran under the table. It's gunshots, Mama gasped. And Layla is my sister. She was a baby at the time.
Oh, my gosh.
And yeah, there was also a scene where I talk about that, her crying, because she used to cry a lot and scream in the middle of the night. And,
how traumatic.
And sometimes, yeah, it was.
Yes. Oh, this book, I cannot wait to read it tomorrow, but keep your tissues nearby because you're going to cry. I'm sure you're all going to cry. I'm fighting tears back right now, but I'm going to be fine. This is beautiful.
And I do want people to know, I don't want them to think, you're a victim out of this. No, I want them to be inspired and say, you know what, we can start over. And,
we can start over.
There's a strong component, even though through loss, sometimes we can also gain, we find the strength to start over and we can teach kids about courage and resilience. And so there's, that hopeful message too.
Right. That's beautifully stated. Yeah. Thank you so much. Any closing thoughts for our viewers?
Well, just wanted to thank you, Vicki, for having me and everybody that's listening, tuning in.
Sweetie, thank you. It's just been such an honor and a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Well, thank you. Yes. And just, I hope everyone that reads this book will see that refugee children are normal children. They love their toys, schools, their home, cartoons, but war, violence can disrupt that. And I hope we can have more empathy and compassion and understand these situations better.
Exactly. My grandma and grandpa were from Portugal, and they came as teenagers and loved this country, and this country embraced them as refugees from Portugal. St. Michael of the Azores Island is where they came from. And they, even when our president FDR died, they both cried and cried and cried because he had helped them so much to have a beautiful life here in this country. We need to get back to that. Yes.
Oh, that's so, I didn't know that.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Yes. All right, sweetheart, will you come back to my show again in the future?
Absolutely.
Ooh, yay.
Thank you so much.
Wait. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you all for being with us. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us today. And I will see you over at the Grout Museum this afternoon when we do the book reading. I can't wait. And she will meet you. She will inscribe your book to your name personally and sign her name. And it's just all going to be so beautiful. We'll see you over there. And that's the Grout Museum from 4 till 6 today. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.